When an amplifier is added to the workspace, it is represented with an icon that looks like this. Clicking the amplifier selects it. When it is selected, it can be dragged around the workspace. It is possible to select and drag multiple amplifiers with a lasso tool. We will now look at the different areas of the amplifier icons. On the left side of the amplifier icon is the Network and Status area. This number shows the amplifier ID. The background colour of the Network and Status area changes depending on the state of the amplifier. A white background is shown when an amplifier is online and in operation. A red background is shown when an amplifier was previously online but is now disconnected from the network. It is therefore not reachable from LINUS control. A dark grey background is shown when an amplifier is online but the front panel switch is in standby. A light grey background represents a virtual amplifier that was added to the workspace but has not yet been synchronized with a physical amplifier online. The central area of the amplifier is white during normal operation. If there are any errors or warnings associated with the amplifier, it will turn red to get your attention. In the event of an error or warning existing within one of the amplifiers in the workspace, the bottom taskbar will turn red. Clicking this taskbar will take you to the Amps page, where you will be able to view and acknowledge the situation by clicking the error text. On the right side of the amplifier icon is the Signal area. The colour of the circle in the Signal area quickly relays the input signal state of the amplifier at all times. When the circle is grey, the amplifier is taking an analog input. When yellow, the amplifier is taking a digital signal and the clock is locked. Red indicates a digital signal is selected, however the signal is not plugged in or the clock is otherwise unlocked. When there is a grey ring around a yellow circle, analog fallback is enabled. The amplifier is taking the digital signal but will revert to analog if the digital signal is lost. In the scenario now shown on the workspace, there are 4 amplifiers running with a digital signal and analog fallback is enabled. We will now simulate a failure of the digital signal by removing it from the amplifiers. The amplifiers are now accepting the analog signal, as is shown by the grey circle in the signal area. The background of the signal area is orange to get your attention. When the digital signal is reconnected to the amplifiers, a yellow ring is drawn around the grey indicator to infer that the amplifier is once again ready to accept the digital signal. A button now appears in the top toolbar which, when pressed, asks all amplifiers that are ready to revert to their digital signal to do so. Selecting different options on this drop-down list shows different information on the amplifier icons. Selecting Amps or pressing number 1 on the keyboard shows the amplifier type. Selecting ID, IP or pressing number 2 on the keyboard shows the ID of the amplifier and its IP address. Selecting Name or pressing number 3 on the keyboard shows a user-editable, friendly name of the amplifier. Selecting the text on the amplifier and then entering text will allow you to give the amplifier a friendly name. Selecting Speaker or pressing number 4 on the keyboard shows a short description of the speaker type assigned to each amplifier channel. Underneath this description is a short code detailing the type of channel selected, be it sub, passive, low or high. Selecting Inputs or pressing the number 5 on the keyboard shows the input routing of the amplifier channels. Letters A through D are the analog inputs. Numbers 1 through 8 are the LINET inputs. D1 through D4 are the Dante inputs. An exclamation mark represents a channel that has no input assigned. A number or character with an exclamation mark next to it represents a mix of input signals. A minus sign after the number or character represents a polarity inversion. An input signal meter is shown per amplifier channel. The limiter's gain reduction meters are also shown to the right of the input meters. Selecting mutes and outputs or pressing number 6 on the keyboard shows the amplifier's output meters. Clicking these meters mutes the output channels. Selecting gain or pressing number 7 on the keyboard shows the gain applied to the amplifier channels. This gain is the sum of all gains applied to the channel from all contributing groups. Selecting delay or pressing number 8 on the keyboard shows the delay applied to the amplifier channels. Much like gain, this delay value is the sum of all delays applied to the channel from all contributing groups.